Greetings, fellow YouTubers. Lindsay here. How the heck are ya? In today's video, I want to talk about Cincinnati area drive-in movie theaters. We know that none of these theaters are here anymore. There is a couple of drive-in movie theaters north of Cincinnati, but these theaters aren't here anymore. And I want to specifically talk about West Side Drive-In theaters, and I had to pick three, so we're going to go with the Ferguson Hills, the Auto Inn, and the Dent Auto Theater. So stick around, guys. I think you'll like this video. So I'm on this website called cinematreasures.org, and it has movie theaters kind of sorted. And if I'm not mistaken, I think some of these are not drive-ins, especially downtown. I'm pretty sure those are just regular movie theaters. But so the three I've chosen are the three that I've driven by and I'm kind of more familiar with, and that's the Ferguson Hills, the Auto Inn, and Ferguson Hills Drive-In, the Auto Inn, and the Dent Auto Theater. So let's talk about first. We're going to talk about Ferguson Hills. And the first thing I want to do is I'm going to pull up the page for it on Cinema Treasures at cinematreasures.org/theaters/8489. I will try to remember to put a link to that in the description, but I sometimes forget. Anyway, so it was at 2310 Ferguson Road. And if you guys don't remember it, here is a picture of it they have here on the website. And it is located at the spot where current day Walmart is on Ferguson Road. You can see in 1956, there wasn't much there. Wasn't much there at all. The high school was down there. If I were to scroll down a little bit, high school is down there, but there's not much else here, guys. Why is that? That's because the Ferguson Hills Drive-In didn't open until August 29th, 1958. In 1960, by 1960, this is what it looked like, having opened up in 1958. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So if we go to, there's a whole page here, a whole page of advertisements. But here is the opening ad, now open Ferguson Hills Drive-In. You can see that there was a triple feature, and the headline or the top feature was Jerry Lewis and Rockabye Baby. Interesting, very interesting. Now, if we go back to the other page, you can also see. I remember my mom. Now, I didn't live in Cincinnati, but I remember my mom taking me when I was little. It was the first movie I remember seeing was E.T. It was E.T. way back in the day, and if I remember, mine was a double feature, and it had an animated movie that we watched. I don't know if it was Peter Pan or anyway. Yeah, so really good memories, really good memories. Ferguson Hills Drive-In. So let's jump over to the Auto Inn Drive-In. You can see a newspaper ad featuring Road Warrior. The Auto Inn Drive-In, 2001 Anderson Ferry Road. It's kind of over where the Servati pastry shop is located, just kind of over off of Anderson Ferry. It opened it on April 22nd, 1947, and the opening feature was Diamond Horseshoe with Betty Grable, Dick Hames, and Phil Silvers. A lot of good memories there. It could park 400 cars, and it had those little in-car speakers on the little poles. It was really cool. It was demolished in 1982, or sometime after 1982. It was demolished, and there's an office building on the site now. So let's go and look it up over here on Historic Aerials. But in order to get an aerial view that predated it, I had to go all the way back to 1932. It's a really bad aerial, but you can see how much that area has grown since then. Look at that. You can see that there was literally nothing there. None of the houses, nothing had been developed there at all. And if we go over here, where Best Buy and all that is, you can see that was that old train yard. That's all gone today. None of that is there at all. But let's go back down here, and we're going to pop forward to 1960. You guys can see there it is. Let's zoom in a little more. If I zoom in too much, it gets all these historic aerials, copyright things all over it. But still, it's pretty cool. Pretty freaking cool. Again, we're on cinematreasures.com. And there are some photos of the Dent Auto Theater, and you can see there with nice big. Oh, this is really old. This is when before they went to the 35mm widescreen format, and Hollywood was still using the 4:3 format like we had on televisions for many years. All right, so now where the Dent Auto Theater is today is today that park out there in Green Township, right next to the police department. So I'm going to go all the way back to the 1932 aerial photograph. It's not a very high quality aerial, but you can see this is what it looked like. Has the park there mid-screen. If I go ahead and zoom back in and jump forward to 1956, you can see it's already there. Check it out, guys. That's pretty cool. So the whole drive-in was kind of the drive where the screen was, I guess, was at the front, and then you drove back in and you parked. It's pretty neat. Did it ever get any bigger than that? Let's see, 1970. A lot cleaner look. Looks like they probably paved it by then. You can see the little building in the middle. So the Dent Auto Theater, like many of them, has been demolished. According to cinematreasures.org, it opened in 1949, and the opening picture was Outpost in Morocco with George Raft and Marie Windsor. I can't say I've heard of either of those two actors. It went into the 80s, just like most of these. By 1989, most drive-in movie theaters were out of business. I remember I turned 13 in 1989, and I remember that by that point in time, we were all going to the big movie theaters that were either standalone theaters, or most of the time they were in malls, and we went to these big theaters with these big sound systems and sat in these. Often by the early 90s, most of the theaters had these cushy seats. They weren't even hard seats anymore, and that's what really put these out of business. So guys, thanks for hanging out with me today, just kind of taking a look at some old aerial views of these old drive-in theaters across the west side of Cincinnati. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Everybody enjoy the rest of your week. Keep fighting the good fight, and I will see you in the next video.